Hello everybody, I'm Patrick on Brick House. I'm trying to hold the camera behind the mast so that the wind doesn't affect the sound too much. But this is a quick down and dirty video. I just wanted to thank everybody for signing up and subscribing. 6 weeks ago, I just all of a sudden got an idea of putting up a YouTube video because I think it's a fantastic format. And in the last 6 weeks, I put up 12 videos and I hope they're helpful for everyone. Right now we have 69 subscribers, I believe it is. That's fantastic for me and I certainly appreciate it. There's no financial incentive here. It's just something fun to do. I'm retired. I have a lot of time on my hands, except for Rebecca, you know, is always trying to drag me off to go look at elephants and wildlife and all these other things that cruisers are supposed to be doing, which we do a lot of. We've had a lot of fun here in Sri Lanka. But I just wanted to do one quick unedited or slightly edited video to thank everybody. And in the morning at 5:30 we'll be picking up anchor and heading out, and I just wanted to show you the decks of what this boat looks like ready to cross an ocean, not a stormy ocean, and it's a real problem. I think I'd rather deal with a storm, but we have a little wind now. It's going to be dying again tonight like it always does, and then it'll be very calm in the morning. And once we get away from the south coast of Sri Lanka, it's nothing but dead calms. We're going to be going across the equator down to Chagos, and we have a ton of diesel fuel on this boat, which I'll show you in a second. I don't like weighting down the boat so much, but we have no alternative. This is not going to be a sailboat, it's a motorboat. But we have in Ocean Voyager, that's an annual publication put out by Ocean Navigator, and it just came out a month ago. It'll be good for a whole year, about preparing this boat for crossing the Indian Ocean. So that article would be starting in Malaysia, but now here we are in Sri Lanka, and this is the problem that we're running into, which we did predict, of diesel fuel and all the motoring that we have to do. So as we burn up all of these tanks of diesel, this is on the port side, and all these tanks of diesel on the starboard side, there is some gasoline on the other side for the dinghy. These are disposable tanks. We only paid here in Sri Lanka like maybe 75 cents to maybe $2 for the most expensive tank. So as we get rid of these tanks, great, they're empty. We can give them to a fisherman or something else just to get them off the boat and lighten the load. Because as we get farther west, as it mentions in the Ocean Voyager article, we certainly expect heavy weather, 35, 45 knots of wind. It'll be a completely different ocean then. And I want the boat as light as possible. The anchor chain that I worked on the other day for the hookah video, I've been pulling it up little by little, drying it out and trying to shake out the last of the barnacles, and putting it down into the chain locker. And I'll pull up some more. We're right about down to a 2-to-1 scope now, and I hate to pull up too much more now, but I don't want all that stink of the residual barnacles and ring growth smelling up the boat when we leave. So let's see. Oh yeah, the dinghy, I have to inflate the dinghy, make sure that's pumped up really well, because these hatches will close. It's going to go upside down right here so that we can open up the main hatch underneath the dinghy for ventilation. These are dinghy wheels that go on the dinghy so we can pull it up on the beach when we get to Chagos. So we're pretty well set. I know I always mention my wife Rebecca, but I think she had one little cameo in the video, and she just thinks this is an idea for me. It's my little hobby, making these videos, and she's just not too excited about being part of it. But just so you'll know that she's not a figment of my imagination, we'll sneak down below and see if maybe we can catch her off guard. Hello, elusive Rebecca. I'm always talking about this beautiful, beautiful lady, but she likes to stay off camera. Not really. But this is most beautiful right now. This is what she's been doing for us today. Scurvy rations, keeping us healthy over the next couple of months. We're going to be out at sea, way out at sea. Maybe down in Chagos we can eat some coconuts or something. But the last of our provisions. lots of food. I mean, we can probably go around the world a couple times with the food that we have on this boat. I'll just show you real quick the Nav Station. I'm going to have to try to sit down here and remember how to use some of these things before we get out of here. Single sideband radio, VHF radio, Pactor 3 modem, so we can download emails or GRIB files if we need, but we have something better these days than GRIBs. My Lowrance fish finder that goes down 4,000 feet, really cool for seeing the contours of the bottom of the ocean. An old GPS, which still works, but now the Raymarine has an even better visual for the ocean bottom fish finder than the Lowrance. This goes down to, how many feet, Rebecca? 800 feet as opposed to 4,000, but much finer detail. And this big screen, I love it. So we can see it all the way out at the binnacle, what's happening on the chart plotter. A lot of tremendous functions here, very powerful machine. And the Vesper Marine AIS, and we can track all the AIS targets on here. Oh, there's just so many things to play with here as a navigator. Well, we just ran into a major weather problem that Rebecca just informed me of, and she's nice enough to go on camera and show us just what it is. We have a program called Predictwind, and it's one of these programs that'll give you the wind arrows and the best route to take and everything else, but we can join that with a satellite program called Iridium GO, so we can get updates 24 hours a day. So we don't have to really use the single sideband radio much anymore. We're dealing with satellites. You know, times have changed. Nobody uses celestial navigation anymore, and unfortunately the single sideband is sort of going away. It's good for talking to other yachts. We have schedules that we keep, talking to friends who are crossing the ocean in the same direction as us, but its overall function is waning. But let's go talk to Rebecca and see what she says about the weather.
We're here, and we're going to come down the coast here of Sri Lanka, and then we're going to follow this line approximately down to here, which is British Indian Ocean territory, which is Chagos. Looks like a pretty nice benign, you know, all these purple areas are places where there's no wind.
1,100 miles.
But let me show you an interesting thing. Like Patrick may have told you that we put a bunch of fuel, probably double the fuel that we've ever put on the boat before, because this is what it's been looking like. Even less of this. It's been looking blue and purple, 5-7 knots of wind for a week or two now. So I want to get there, and I want to have some fuel when we get there, because we have another 1,200 miles when we leave here, and there's no fuel stations in Chagos. So let me show you another report, though, kind of interesting.
We have a problem developing right there.
We have a problem developing right there.
Just about the time that we would expect to be getting into that area. I see, what, 25, 35 knots?
There's
25
35.
knots. Uh-oh, building to 30.
Oh, look at that little gray spot right there. That's the middle there. That's about 50. If we go on the scale here, that's 50. Gray. Gray.
And I wouldn't want all that diesel, all that weight on the boat if we're running into 35, 40, 50 knots of wind. I want to be light. I want to go up and over the waves, not through them.
So what we'll probably do is up here, you know, we'll be able to, thank God, because we have the Iridium GO and Predictwind, that we can get weather anytime we want, as many times a day as we'd like. We'll be able to keep a very good eye on this as we come down.
In May of 1981, I set out from Darwin, Australia on a 27-foot sailboat and made a non-stop passage to Durban, South Africa. That was 6,400 miles. Back in those days, as celestial navigation, there were no water makers, there was no weather routing. If you ran into a storm, you just got slammed and hung on and tried to deal with it as best as you could. How much nicer it is today. And Rebecca knows all of the electronics so well. She does a great job keeping us safe. And on the chart plotters, if I ever have a question on which button to push, when and where, rather than hunting and pecking, which would take me forever, she knows off the top of her head just what to do. So I'll tell you, I couldn't have a better shipmate and electronics expert and everything else you could imagine. So I certainly do appreciate her. And we're going to be getting out of here at 5:30 in the morning. I need to get this video out, so I'm going to dash down below and take care of that and catch some sleep. Thanks a lot for watching, and it's going to be a few months before we get another video out. We'll just be out in the middle of nowhere doing what we like to do. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.